Hello and welcome. I'm Tamara Zoner, here today to remind you how much you matter because it's Monday. Oh, I love reminding you how much you matter. Today I want to share with you something called Nature's Guidance System. And this is it's a tool, but it's also just a way of being as you move through life, reminding yourself how much you matter and how much every feeling matters. There's a phrase that I often use that goes like this: if you feel it, you heal it. And if you ignore it, you store it. You store it in your body. So nature's guidance system is a way of moving through this natural cycle of expansion and contraction in our lives without resisting any of it. So we get stuck in resistance, trying not to feel something uncomfortable. And when we do that, that's when we're storing stuff, right? If someone says something to me that hurts, or life is feeling stressful and there's something challenging going on, which happens pretty often, doesn't it? And I'm just like, nope, I don't want it. I can't deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. And I push it away. Where I'm really pushing it is down into my own body. Okay, I'm storing it. Feelings need to be felt, heard, honored, and released in order to be released, right? That's where the release comes from. So I'm going to invite you to start to look at those lower depleting emotions that you may not want to have, those uncomfortable emotions: sadness, grief, anger, frustration. You can think of a whole bunch of them, I'm sure, as yellow lights. Okay, so you know a stoplight. You're probably a driver, and at the very least, you've been at a stoplight. So you know sometimes it's green, then it changes to yellow, and the yellow means something different than what a lot of us do. It means caution, slow down, you need to stop soon. What a lot of us do is just plow right through it, okay? I'll come back to that. And you know what a red light is. A red light means stop, danger, don't go. Okay, so green light means go, we're all good. I'm feeling good in my body, awesome. Life is pretty cool. Green light means go, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Yellow light. I start to feel, so yellow light feelings are moving toward that unhappy side of the happiness continuum. If you joined me for my talk on the foundations for happiness, or if you'll be joining my class, which starts January 18th, we will talk in depth about all of this. The yellow light is where maybe we're feeling some fatigue or frustration or a little bit of overwhelm or burnout. We can feel it approaching. And so we have a choice at the yellow light. We have a choice to keep going, sometimes even speed up, plow through, and what happens occasionally is boom, we crash and burn. Because we don't want to get that red light. We have so much to do. Right? We have so much to do. So many people are depending on ourselves, on us, including ourselves. So we've got to keep going. But then we crash and burn. And what happens is we may get really sick. We may literally crash and burn. We may fall down the stairs and break our ankle. Lots of things happen when we don't listen or yield to the yellow light in our body, mind, and experience. And so I want to encourage you to start looking at your emotions like a yellow light. We don't judge a yellow light, right? Except for whether we should stop or go. But we do often judge our emotions as good or bad, thinking we shouldn't be feeling the way we're feeling. We shouldn't have this. We should be grateful. We should be happy. If that's not your experience, that's not your experience. As Byron Katie says, when I argue with reality, I lose, and only 100% of the time. This nature's guidance system or expansion contraction process reminds you not to argue with reality, but to move through it with grace. Everything in nature expands and contracts. The sun rises and it sets again. Spring blooms to summer and autumn and then winter when everything shuts down in order to renew. We need that contraction as much as we need the expansion. It's in contraction where we heal, learn, grow, and then we bloom again in the expansion like a butterfly breaking through its chrysalis and flying into the world renewed. I invite your comments. What do you think about this new way of thinking about those feelings that most of us judge as bad or negative and don't want to have? And instead of pushing them away, embracing them and listening to them. There is, in fact, a 7-part process that I will take you through if you work with me one-on-one or in my class in a group. And we go through the 7 steps of contraction to expansion. So when we're in that contracted phase, what are the steps that we take to honor where we are at and then move back into expansion? This is probably the most important thing I've ever learned or taught on this journey in personal development and growth and self-love, which we talked about on Saturday. And so I want for you to have the most ultimate, joyful, experiential life. And that does mean opening to all of it, because life, as good as it can be, doesn't always feel good. And when we can learn to navigate the choppy waters with grace and love and compassion for ourselves, they get so much easier. And we move through them so much more quickly than when we're pushing them away or resisting them. I'd love to read your comments below. So share with me what you think of this video. And if it resonates, I'd love for you to share it with someone else. Invite them into our community. That's what we're trying to build here together. A community that creates a ripple effect to make a more beautiful, loving, compassionate world. I'm Tamara Zoner. I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.